All right, so if you watched my Black Friday video back on Monday around campaign structure and stuff, this video is gonna be kind of similar, but specifically for scaling for Black Friday, budget management, and all of those good things right there. So long story short, if you didn't watch Monday's video, this is gonna be my 6th Black Friday. We've had some really cool Black Fridays in the past where, you know, we've done upwards to $675,000 in a single day for Black Friday itself. We run very simplified ad account structure in terms of just like one campaign per product category or country or gender, depending on like if it's like a women's specific collection versus a men's specific collection. If it's unisex, it'll be all in one campaign and stuff like that. And also too, I've made a lot of Black Friday videos on this channel over the last 6 years, documenting everything I've learned over the last 6 years. One specific thing that I posted about 2 years ago that we would do pretty much over the course of the years, back in 2022, I believe we first did this. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and then once at night, we checked the budget and stuff for Black Friday itself specifically. 2022, we went ahead and we increased that, and we changed the budget every 4 hours basically. So if you look at my video right here from 2 years ago, where I go over these different budget adjustments for hours. I know I've seen a couple other people talk about this online. I'm like, y'all are behind the curve. Like I talked about this years ago. And long story short, what are we doing this year, right? So this year, one, we are basically going ahead and we're doing our single campaign structure and stuff. Like I said, we've already talked about this in the video I posted Monday, but I want to go ahead and just kind of dive a little deeper in this. So again, we're doing campaign, CBO, we're adjusting the budget at the campaign level. Now for us, the thing we did last year, 2024, and the thing we're gonna be doing this year in 2025 is we're starting the day with a budget anywhere from like 2x to 10x our current daily budget right now. And this is going to differ through a lot of things. So the first thing I like to look at is like last year Black Friday, right? And some of y'all, this might be y'all first Black Friday, and that's okay. But some of y'all, this might be like y'all 4th or 5th Black Friday. And what I like to basically go do and look at is like, I like to go look at the previous year as well. Let's do like, I don't know, let's just do like 2023, and I'll look at like, 2024. And then like, I don't know, maybe we ran all the way adds up back in like 2022, right? And then what I like to look at here is just basically like what we spent each Black Friday. So maybe 2022, we spent $5,000 in a single day. Maybe 2023, we spent like $15,000. And I don't know, maybe 2024, we spent like $30,000, or let's just even say like $40,000, right? And like year over year, like performance held well with like our bigger budgets and stuff like that. So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, hey, 2024, we had a target of a 3x ROAS and we hit a 4, right? 4x. So it's like, we did extremely well. And then like the previous year, we had a target of I don't know, maybe a 2.5x ROAS, and we hit 3.5, right? And then, I don't know, maybe this one was like target of a 2.5x as well. Boom, boom, boom. And hit I don't know, let's just say a 5, right? So like year over year, we always substantially overdo our target and stuff. And like year over year, we've been able to increase budget a lot. So like for me, what I would want to do in like 2025, for example, here is, you know, I wouldn't really say I would want to go do a 2x in this case right here, because like we consistently year over year do better and better and better. So like in this case right here, no lie, I would start off at $100,000. Why? Because like year over year, we consistently increase budget anywhere from a 2x to 3x in this particular case right here. And year over year, we consistently keep outperforming and stuff like that. So for me, maybe we have a target of a 3x ROAS, for example, and we saw substantially right here, we did better. And I also like to look at even the year over year, right? So like maybe, like for example, if one of our clients right now, last year, they averaged $250,000 a month all year long. And then Black Friday day, they averaged $250,000 all year long. And then this year they averaged like $400,000 to $500,000 a month all year long, right? So like overall, the brand's growing year over year, not just on Black Friday, but overall year. There's a lot more customers. We have more products. We have better retention rate. We have new products dropping. We have all kinds of good stuff that's going to be happening. And in this case right here, it's like, for me, it's like overall everything's doing really good. So now like, let's throw a little bit more on Black Friday. And again, there's no like scientific number here I'm giving y'all because, you know, it's really hard to predict in that sense. So in this case right here, we've gained confidence year over year. We also gain confidence based off month over month, the brand doing substantially better. So I can go ahead and be comfortable with doing a 2.5x increase for this particular client right here, and be okay with knowing that there's a good certainty that we're going to hit this, spend this $100,000 at profit. Why? Because year over year, we've consistently increased, done really well. And then also too, month over month, we've consistently held a upwards trend in growth all throughout the year. So there's so many variables right there that basically give us confidence in going to set a larger budget. Now, let's say in this particular case, let's just remove some of these numbers here. And let's say like we only had a Black Friday last year, and then maybe last year we only spent $100. Or let's say $1,000. I think $100 is a little too noobish for this YouTube channel here. And like, let's just say, for example, we spent $1,000 last Black Friday. We really didn't even try at anything, right? And throughout the whole year, let's go back to this. We had a target of 2.5x. We hit a 5. So like we did extremely well. And then this year happened. So we started late last year. We had our first Black Friday day. We threw $1,000 at it. We converted really well. We hit a 5x return on ad spend. And then boom. Well, guess what? Now in this case right here, I'm gonna look at 2025. I don't really have much to compare it to, because like we didn't have year over year. So this is again where I'm gonna be looking at overall brand growth. We might already be at like $2,000 or $3,000 a day in ad spend right now. And like this case right here, like this business was spending, I don't know, maybe $500 a day on average. And we were doing, I don't know, let's see, 15K a month in ad spend with like, I don't know, maybe a 3x ROAS, like 45K a month in revenue. And then maybe now we're like just generally coasting at $2,000 or $3,000. Let's just say $3,000 a day in ad spend. We're doing about roughly 100K a month, or 3,000. No, actually we'll be doing like 200-300K a month in revenue. Well, I can't just do a 2x increase in ad spend compared to like last Black Friday, because the business has grown substantially. We spend more than that on a day-to-day basis already. So I'm going to be more willing to do more of like a 10x increase compared to last Black Friday. So like in this case right here, maybe we're already spending $3,000 a day on ad spend, and last Black Friday, we barely spent a little bit and it crushed. This whole year, we've had a good upward trend in terms of like, you know, customers, acquisition, month over month growth, like fixing business problems, like customer retention and stuff like that. Then I'm going to be a lot more like, hey, let's 10x last Black Friday in terms of that, number that we spent last Black Friday. So, and then, again, maybe it's like the same target, of 2.5, let's see, target of a 2.5x. Again, we don't really know if we're going to hit that or not, but we're going to at least give that a try. So, and that's the next thing, right? Whatever number you put right here, like you have to be fully committed to. Like, I don't want you just throwing a random number right here of like, hey, I spend $1,000 today. I'm gonna go throw $100,000 today at this. And like, if it doesn't, if it starts performing badly, I'm gonna turn everything off, because that's not realistic. And like, I want to be realistic in terms of like, I want confidence in the number I choose, because I know I'm not going to fuck things up and burn the client's money in that sense right there if it's too big of a number, right? So I want to still be realistic, while I also still want to kind of like, quote unquote, dream big in that sense, to where like I can still push for big numbers. And we'll talk a little bit more about like scaling here in a second. But right now it's just first starting off the starting day budget. And what I'm going to do right here for the starting day budget is I'm really going to start this at 12 a.m., right? So Black Friday this week is on the 28th, this Friday, which is in 2 days, 48 hours. In that 48-hour period right there, we're going to have, basically a lot of people are going to start getting everything ready, start launching stuff. On Black Friday day, I'm at 12 a.m. I'm going to go in my ad account and adjust the budget. I might be at like $2,000 a day right now and jump that to 10K, or maybe at 50K a day and jump that up to $150,000 a day or $200,000 a day, depending on what we plan on spending for Black Friday day. 12 a.m. I'm just going to pop on my laptop. I'm going to go to my little CBO right here. And I'm going to click on that little pencil by the daily budget. And I'm going to change this $12,000 a day. I think for this client, we're going to spend $40,000 for this particular client. So I'm going to edit that little budget right there and toss in a nice fat 40 G's on this campaign right here. I'm going to close that laptop and I'm going to get me a nice good 8 hours of sleep, because that's it. That's all you're going to be doing for Black Friday. And then what I'm going to do here is, so I'm going to go for my plan. Let's actually just take this and let's kind of plop it down right here. I'm going to put this at like $40,000 real quick, just to show y'all this. So I'm basically going to set this thing up right here. Edit that budget to that nice 40 G's. And like I said, I'm going to do that at 12 a.m. So let's actually just do some little text. I'm going to get me a nice solid 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to sleep like a baby and stuff right here. And then at 8 a.m., I'm going to wake up and do first check, right? Okay. Now, first check, I'm taking with a grain of salt. What do I mean by that? I don't really want to make any crazy adjustments right now, because 8 a.m., like, people are still waking up. And I'm talking more like Central Time right now. I find Central Time has been giving me a pretty good average of this time right here. So it's 8 a.m. CST. They're still waking up. They might be grabbing brunch, because also on Black Friday, this is a time where a lot of people are off and stuff like that. And because of that right there, like, people don't just immediately get up and start buying. So usually at 8 a.m., I'm really just looking for, like, things are horrible right now. Like maybe a website or page broke or something like that, and like something fucked up, and we need to go fix something. But for the most part, like, there's not much I should need to do at 8 a.m. If performance is horrible and like bleeding money, then what I'll do here is I'll just do like a 20 to 50% decrease right here. Now, what you have to keep in mind here is that the problem with this is that if you set a big budget of like 40K for the day, for example, Facebook's already going to spend some money between 12 a.m. and 8 a.m. It'll probably spend like $5,000 of that 40K, maybe 10, maybe depending on how Facebook's feeling, maybe 10 of that $40,000 right there. So I don't want to do a huge decrease to where there's no money left in the day for Facebook to spend, because the way Black Friday works is that Black Friday, like, gets better throughout the day. So if like this is the end of the day right here and this is the beginning of the day, it sometimes takes a little while for it to like it'll just kind of slowly grow like that, and then it'll like shoot up towards the end of the day. So I would say like this is beginning, and then this is like lunch right here, and then this is like, that 5 p.m. to, I would say 8 p.m. at night right there. This is where things blow up. I still want to spend money during this period of time though, because I'm warming up people, I'm serving impressions and stuff like that, and I'm getting those early people before now it's like lunch, and then just blows up for Black Friday a day. So I don't want to decrease this too much unless I'm just like fucking hemorrhaging money. Like I just like got a hole ripped in my chest and I'm just pouring out blood, not to be too graphic and stuff like that. Then I'll do like a 20 to 50% decrease. But if I'm just like buff, break even, I'm doing decent right now, nothing really to like screenshot and post on Twitter yet, but like still doing decent, I'm going to let that ride. And then here, we're going to go in 2 p.m. right here. We'll do our second check, right? So roughly about 6 hours from now, this will be second check. And then here, this is where I'm looking to actually do roughly 100% increase right here, right? And like, this is like okay, hey, we have a goal of 3x ROAS. And here we're getting, I don't know, let's see, we're hitting a 4x ROAS right now, right? So we're doing really good. We had a goal of a 3x ROAS at 40K in spend. So that means what will happen here is, like we're roughly probably gonna do about 120K for the day. If we spend all 40 of that at 3x ROAS, we're hitting a 4x right now. We're doing above our goal. And again, we have to set a solid target here of what goal we want. So based off of that goal is how I dictate all my scaling decisions. So if I'm basically spending like roughly 40K a day, I'm going to go double that budget. So 100% increase. If you don't know, 100% of 40K, I'm going to add 100% of that to 40K. It's just doubling the budget. So if we're hitting a 4x right now, I am going to double that. So that'll put us at 80K of spend for the day. Now keep in mind, because this is later in the day at like 2 p.m. and stuff like that, we're not going to spend all 80 of that. But the problem with Facebook is that when you go and make a large budget change towards like middle to end of the day, you have to give Facebook more time to essentially be able to go ahead and spend that budget, right? So like it takes time for it to optimize and to actually start getting pushed and nudged and stuff. So a small increase, like 20% or even 50%, is not significant enough to really get it to spend. Like it'll still spend more than the 40K, but it'll probably only spend, like if I do a 20% increase or a 50% increase, I make it 60K for the day, it'll probably realistically only spend about 50 of that 60 right there. So a 100% increase, I'm pretty confident spending an additional, 20K with no issues right there. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm pretty much just gonna let this hold and stuff like that. And then we're gonna go do our next check and stuff, which for me, I'm basically gonna do kind of the same thing here. I'm just gonna check this more closer to 6 p.m. because now we're gonna go into what's called that like after or like that rush, night rush. And again, this is all central time. So keep this in mind, like this is all central time. So y'all kind of keep in mind here with like y'all time zones and stuff like that. And then I'm basically just going to do the same thing here at 6 p.m. right? And this will be the last adjustment I'll do for the day, because if I go and adjust this again, right? From 40K, we'll technically be at 100% increase. So now if I'm going to go jump this from 80K, I'm not going to really like jump 80K to 160K for the day. I'll probably just go like add an additional like 40K, 50K to this. So I'd say 50% increase, 50% increase of the new daily budget from earlier, right? So in like that particular case right there, that 80K, I'm adding another 40K to it. So now we'll spend like 120K for the day, theoretically, but now it's gonna actually push us closer to that 80 to 90K in spend for the rest of the day. And like I said, that's 6 p.m. We're gonna get more of that like nighttime rush right here. And I've seen insane stuff during this period of time right here. So, and I'll push that budget. Like I said, we'll start off at 40. And then we'll probably scale up to roughly $120,000. But we're really going to fall in between more realistically here at like $80,000 of actual, I'll just put spent. That's more realistically what will happen here of where we actually spend relative to how much we've increased the budget and stuff like that. Yeah, and like that's what I do. And then as far as like this night rush and stuff, this second check and stuff like that, I'm really not trying to decrease budget. Maybe 20, maybe 50% in extreme cases when I'm like hemorrhaging money and stuff like that. But for the most part right there, I don't want to decrease budget. I want to start the day off with like, hey, whatever this big budget I'm gonna start off with, I'm perfectly okay with losing. So the rest of the day, I'm only adding if things are crushing. And that's how I want to go into this. And that's what's given us the most successful Black Fridays, where you put your balls on the table basically, and you actually fucking like, I'm going to commit to this and spend this regardless if I'm going to make money or not. So that's why I'm saying like, don't just go throw some random number in the account if you have no fucking clue like how previous Black Fridays have worked, have, how performance is going now. Because it makes it a lot more real to you versus just like gambling in the sense of like, hey, I'm spending $100 a day right now. What if I start my account off at $10,000 a day, even though I don't have that money in my bank account, but who knows, maybe it'll blow up because it's Black Friday, gang. And then like it doesn't work. So like in that case right there, like you need to make sure that you actually have the money to back what you're going to spend and stuff. But yeah, so we'll do that. And then like I said, if we actually spend like $80K for that day and stuff, what I'll often do is I'll pretty much like just go reset the daily budget for like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to like $80K basically daily in that sense right there. And that's what we'll start off for Saturday. And then what I've seen is we just pretty much hold that budget till Monday. And we're not decreasing it. We're not really increasing it unless there's like super big like opportunities and stuff. But usually we can just hold that budget Saturday through Sunday or Saturday through Monday. I'm not doing all of these checks throughout the day. I'm not surf scaling every day unless the opportunity presents itself. What we'll see here is like Black Friday always peaks really well. And then like Saturday drops a little bit. Then like Sunday drops a little bit. And then like Monday just drops a little bit. So Friday is like your big day. And then it'll just kind of drop down all the way to Monday. Where a lot of people have their expectations fucked up is that they basically think this is how it works. Friday and then Monday. And that's not how it works at all. We just simply have just never seen that before. It's always going to drop over time. So we may even have to pull this budget back a little bit, anywhere between 20 to 30% a day, just kind of depending on how it's performing. We've had times where we had to pull it back 50% going into Sunday because Saturday just didn't perform too hot right there. And then from there, that's it. I mean, we're keeping it simple and, we're just kind of judging it not hour by hour, but like I said, it's 12 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. has been giving us some really good opportunities right here. The reason why I don't like adjusting it at 12 p.m. is because this is lunchtime. And if we're not doing like incredibly good at 8 a.m., which again, like 8 a.m. is not a time you're going to see great stuff. So like, let me be very clear here. A lot of y'all are probably going to see not great performance, but not bad performance at 8 a.m. Central Time because people are still sleeping. People are waking up. They might go and grab lunch, telling family members by, all of these things. Because especially in the USA, this is the day after Thanksgiving. So a lot of family members sleep over and stuff. So they're still busy in the morning dealing with like Thanksgiving shit. But throughout the day, that 12 p.m. is where we actually see that like increase in sales and stuff from people that are like eating lunch and then like hopping off their phone and starting to like buy stuff. And we can see a nice good increase, which would be like, all right, let's go ahead and add a little bit of budget because we're actually seeing some really good performance right now, which will kind of carry us through till 6 p.m. And then before that big night rush, I'm gonna do my next check right there of like, hey, should we hold budget right now because we want to make up for some profitability right now? Or hey, things are crushing really good. Let's add additional profits to this campaign or actual budget to this campaign. So that way we can really blow through the ceiling over the final hours, right? That's 6 p.m. up until I think 11 a.m. Central Time or 11 p.m. Central Time. We have a really good just like buying trend right there and just kind of clean up the rest of the day and stuff before we just go reset that daily budget again on that CBO back to what we actually spent that day versus the budget we set. And we're going to pretty much hold that Saturday through Monday and then maybe just decreasing a little bit because we will see that decrease over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We may decrease that a little bit by anywhere between 20% to 50% going into Sunday morning, and then maybe additionally going into Monday morning, just depending on how performance held those 48 hours and stuff like that. So that's essentially what we're doing for our budget adjustments and stuff for this Black Friday based off, 6 years of running Black Friday ads and, doing all the crazy tweaking and stuff like that I've even shown in like, this particular video right here where I posted this 2 years ago and, kind of like what's going to work for us and stuff. So hopefully this helps y'all out. Hope y'all have a great Black Friday and I'll talk to y'all after Black Friday. Take care. It is Black Friday week this week, and this Friday is going to be a huge day for everyone watching this channel because not only on top of you going to scale to the moon and absolutely crush it this Black Friday, I have a very special Black Friday and an absolutely huge announcement this Friday for Black Friday. So 9 a.m. Central Time on YouTube, I will post a video about an official Black Friday offer that I honestly think it's one of the greatest offers I've presented on the channel, and probably one of the most valuable things that you could possibly get as you have Black Friday and going into the new year and stuff like that. So be ready. An absolutely amazing offer is dropping this Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. It's me a YouTube video going over the offer, link to grab it, and I think you're gonna love it. So make sure you set your post notifications for that and your calendar notifications, because it's gonna be a good one.